Hey, have you heard about my AI alter ego? That's right. Ask Alan Anything is now live, and we've trained it on my 13 books. We've trained it on over 200 podcasts. It has most of what's in here, not everything, but most of what's in here. And you can, when you're sitting around going, gee, I wonder what Alan would do in this situation, or I wonder what Alan would say in this situation. Well, now you can. Go to whatwouldallansay.com. Enter the coupon code podcast because you're going to get half off. It starts at only $10 a month. And now when you're thinking, I wonder what Alan say, now you can actually ask. Go to whatwouldallansay.com, enter the coupon code podcast, and start asking me anything. More leads is not your goal. Yes, I'm talking about this one again. Welcome to another episode of the Wedding Business Solutions Podcast. I'm your host, Alan Berg. I'm a speaker, author, sales trainer, website reviewer, and I help businesses like yours sell more, profit more, and have more fun doing it. Enjoy this episode. Hey, it's Alan Berg. Welcome back to another episode of the Wedding Business Solutions Podcast. Yes, I've spoken about this before, but this keeps coming up again and again in conversations I'm having with people just like you around the world, trying to do wedding and event businesses, or really any kind of business. More leads should not be your goal. Leads are not sales. Leads are just filling up your inbox. Leads are filling up your CRM or whatever system you're using for that. Your goal is better conversion. And if you could focus your marketing better and get fewer leads, but they're better, and follow up with those leads in a different way, because this is the thing that I'm hearing the most of with people is what was working not that long ago isn't working now with today's couples, with today's clients, with people in general. So do you really want to fill your inbox with more and more leads? Or do you want to have more phone calls, more appointments, more tours, more meetings with people in person or virtually so that you can talk to them about the results that only you can provide for them? That should be your goal. And if you had to pick one of the things to work on, and I know the last episode was talking about getting started, right? Not finishing, but getting started. If I were to challenge you today, the thing to get started on is looking at your leads that you're getting and saying, wait a minute, could I get fewer of these? The people that I never should be talking to, maybe. Maybe it's a price thing and you have no price on your website, no price in your ads, and you're getting a lot of people reaching out who can't afford you. Or maybe you do have pricing, but it's not so clear so that people don't understand and they're reaching out. Or maybe the leads are coming through sources that don't have pricing on them, like Pinterest or like Instagram or things like that, where maybe there's no price there. So they see a beautiful picture, they read a great story, they like the voice that they're hearing, and they reach out. The way you follow up with them is really the key. It's the conversion, right? The lead has already proven to you that they're interested, right? They're starting the conversation. You're not starting the conversation. They're saying, I like what I've seen, read, heard, watched, personally experienced, whatever, and I put you on this short list of people that I'm reaching out to. You just have to do it better than them, right? What's that old story? You know, if you're in the forest with a bunch of people and the bear starts chasing you, you don't have to run faster than the bear. You just have to run faster than the slowest person, right? Well, here you just have to be better than the handful that they've reached out to, not better than everybody that was a possibility. Because by the time they reach out, everybody isn't a choice anymore. It's only this small group that's a choice. So do you really want more and more and more and more leads? But most of my clients, most of the people I talk to are drowning in leads. So unless you're brand new, and some of you are, but unless you're brand new, more leads is just going to cause more problems for you because it's going to make it harder for you to follow up. And if there's anything that's going to give you better conversion, it's better follow-up. Now, can you use technology? Absolutely. Automations, AI, definitely ways to use technology, right? I'm using both, right? I use automations. If you inquire through my website, you're going to get responses. But as soon as you respond to that response, that turns off and I have to pick up, right? And then there's something like Venue X AI you've heard me talk about where I'm consulting with them. And we've trained that on my best practices and my books, where it'll have the conversation for you. And there are other systems out there, I'm sure, but this is one that I'm not an owner, but this is one that I'm consulting with. So you could definitely use technology for that. But just imagine if you got fewer inquiries, you followed up more times with them, right? Just think about that, a wet sponge. You squeeze the sponge, you get water, you keep squeezing it, you get more water each time until there's none left. That's a much better plan than trying to get more water on that sponge and more water on that sponge without being able to squeeze it again and again and again. Because some people just don't respond the first time, or the second, or the third, or the fourth, or the fifth, or the sixth, or the seventh, or the eighth. And the people that keep following up are the people that are going to get those people. Yeah, there's fewer of them as you go further out. More of them have made decisions by then. But the ones that haven't, nobody else is reaching out at that point. From our secret shopping, I can tell you that. The average number of follow-ups is just over two, right? And over 50% give up after one response, right? So getting out to four, five, six, whether it's through automation, through AI, or just you doing it yourself, that is a way to get more business. I just yesterday got someone that responded to one, they filled out my form months ago, right? And they're still getting emails from me, and they got another email and they responded to that email. And that could have been number five, number six, number seven. I got a lot of people respond to number eight. So I've added on nine and 10 now, right? That's a better plan than me trying to get more leads. Following up with the people that have already shown interest is a better use of your time than trying to get new people to show interest because you're already getting new people. Do you need more of those new people? No, you don't. You need to work the ones you have better. That's the key. This isn't cold calling. I did cold calling for 10 years, driving around, knocking on doors just like yours, trying to see if there was an interest. Now, I was smart about it. I only knocked on the doors of wedding and event businesses, right? I was people that might want to advertise. In this case, it was wedding businesses because it was wedding magazines, right? So I was smart about that. I looked to see who was advertising in other magazines or other places so I could know these are the type of people that are already investing in advertising. But you weren't expecting me that day. You didn't ask me to come in, right? That's cold calling. I wish that all I had to do all day was respond to people that had already shown interest. How much easier would that have been than me getting in my car and driving 30,000 miles a year, knocking on doors like yours? A lot easier, right? So the easier thing to do is to invest the time, the money, the people, the technology in responding to the inquiries you already have more and better than spending more money and throwing more money at TikTok and Instagram and other places trying to get more leads, right? I can tell you that over the years, I have helped so many people get more from the leads they're already getting, whether it's the Knot, Wedding Wire, or other sources, just by responding differently. Because if what you're doing isn't working, you don't blame the source, right? The source is doing what it's supposed to do. The job of advertising. Now, this is coming from a guy that used to be VP of sales of the largest wedding website in the world. And I've consulted with other sites like that around the world, and I published wedding magazines. I'm going to tell you, advertising is not about the ad. It's about the audience. That's what you're buying access to. Now, if you put lousy content in front of a good audience, don't expect a good response. And it's the same thing if you're getting leads from your website, you're getting leads from other sources and they're not responding. Well, your site's doing its job or the ad is doing its job and getting people to tell you they're interested. It's like a relay race. I've said this many times. The baton got handed to you. And now if you drop the baton, that's on you. That's not on them. Right? Don't blame your website if you're getting leads and they're not converting. Right now, could it be your website's fault? Yeah, if you didn't put the right photos there, the right wording there, if you haven't updated it recently, if you haven't kept up with not only SEO, but optimizing it for AI, right? And then new content, fresh content, blogging, talking about the weddings and events that you do, all those things are going to determine whether or not you're even going to get the lead. But if you got the lead, your site did its job with whatever tools it had at the time. Don't blame it. Don't blame the Knot, Wedding Wired, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, right? I always say the first place to start when something isn't working, look in the mirror. That's what I do. If it's not working, it's my fault, right? Maybe that's why I'm happily married, right? But it's true, right? What can I do differently to get a different result out of this? That's the place to start. So, you know, more leads, I don't think that should be your goal. Very few people I know need more leads. If everybody who reached out now converted to a sale, could you even handle the work? I think not. I may meet very few people where that's the case. And again, those are only the new people that are new and just not getting enough leads. But if you're getting a ton of leads in, you can't handle all that work. Maybe the dates are already booked, or you run out of people, you run out of equipment, or whatever. Or even if you're a dress shop or invitations where you're not there on the day, there's still only so much work you can handle physically without bringing on more people, more staff, more inventory, whatever. So stop looking for more leads. You're probably getting enough. Pay attention to the leads you're getting, and then look and see, how can I get better conversion? And can I use automation? Can I use AI? Can I use, you could ask Alan anything. So you've probably heard about that. My AI alter ego, people are putting the inquiry in, seeing how to respond. The customer responds saying, hey, does this look good? How do I respond? Or I said this, and what do you say? That's technology too. That's using AI, even though it's not having the conversation directly. So many things you can do, but just like the last episode, which said, the goal isn't to finish, the goal is to get started. Get started today working on better conversion, not on getting more leads. You're probably getting enough. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Wedding Business Solutions podcast. If you liked it, please subscribe to this channel and post a review on your chosen platform, Apple Podcasts or whichever one. If you have any questions about anything in this episode or any of my episodes, email me directly at alan@weddingbusinesssolutions.com or visit my website, alanberg.com, alanberg.com. If you have any suggestions for future topics or guests that you'd like to see, please again, email me or visit my website. Thanks for listening.